All right, here we go. So we're on 3B.5, solving polynomial equations by factoring. Guys, listen up. So, this is a little bit of a Algebra 1 lesson, okay? So bear with me. It may be like, this is so easy. Yes, but it's to make sure that we have that foundation before it gets harder. Does that make sense? No, your notes are meant to be, you can fold them to put them in later, but it's meant to be the front side is part 1 and the back side is part 2. I did not misprint. I printed it how I wanted it. Okay. Yes, the front side is part 1, the back side is part 2. Okay.
I can't tell the difference.
They say part
Part 2 on part 2.
Okay. This is a 2-part lesson. So here we go. All right. So part 1 is about solving quadratic equations by factoring. There are 4 steps that we're going to follow. There are 4 steps that we're going to follow. Step 1 is you factor completely. That means checking for GCF. That means using the rules, the tips, whether it's mental with branches, whether it's Xbox, whether it's X and grouping, whether it's using your difference of 2 squares, whatever you got to do, but factor completely, okay? After you factor completely, you're going to separate factors and set equal to 0, okay? Well, this is called our zero property. That means that if I have 2 factors set equal to 0, that either one of them can be 0, right? Because 0 times anything is going to be 0, right? And that's the 0 property that we're using. Next, we're going to solve each equation for x, okay? Then we solve each equation using inverse operations to isolate the variable, and then we're going to check our solutions in the original equation, all right? So let's dive in. So step 1 is to make sure that you're fully factored. Am I fully factored here?
No.
Yes, everything's factored out, right? Okay, step 2 is you're going to take your factors and you're going to set them each equal to 0. So I'm going to just create a little divide here. I'm going to take factor 1, 5x, and set it equal to 0. Then I'm going to take my second factor, x minus 15, and set it equal to 0. That's step 2. After you set each factor equal to 0, your job is now to isolate the variable to solve for x. So what do you need to do to solve for x on each side? On this one, what do I need to do? Divide. And that gives me x equals 0. On this side, what do I need to do? And that gives me x equals 15. So you check yourself. If I plug 0 in, does this make this 0? Yep. If I plug 15, does this make this 0? Yes, it does. 15 minus 15 is definitely 0.
Oh.
Yes? Still with me? All right, your turn. Okay, so you have, the factors are 2x minus 5 times x plus 3 equal to 0. What are my solutions? So step 1 is to make sure it's fully factored. Are we already fully factored? Yes. Step 2 is to do what? Separate. Separate and set each factor equal to 0.
Why did I?
Step 3 is to isolate the variables using inverse operations. Solve for x. And then step 4 is to check yourself. Let me see. Okay, I'll do the next one. Yes. Remember, fractions are our friends. Yeah, they are.
It's a fraction. He just said fractions are our friends. Please.
All right, let's go over it. Language. Okay, so I'm going to set my first factor equal to 0. I'm just going to create 2 little divides here. So I have 2x minus 5 equals 0. You should have added 5. And we're left with 2x equals 5. Then we divide by 2. And we get x equals 5 over 2. Okay? Then I have x plus 3 equals 0. Subtract 3. And we simply get x equals -3. A lot of times you guys get fractions, you're not confident in checking yourself in a fraction. Just remember, when I plug this in, when you have 2 times 5 over 2, if your whole number and your denominator are the same, guess what they do? Cancel, and you're just left with 5 minus 5. Is that 0? Yes. So that's how we know it works. Okay? All right. Next one. Go. I'm only going to give you 30 seconds because if you caught on, it shouldn't take you very long, right? No, you guys psych yourselves out because you see fractions. And this problem is one step. No, so, all right, so let's go over it. So again, on this one, what all did you have to do to get x by itself? Add. So it just became what? It just became a positive. What did you have to do here? The same thing. So it became positive. So, conclusion here. If I'm in factored form already, what do you notice my solution is just? The opposite. Okay, if I'm in factored form already, meaning that my leading coefficient in each factor is a 1, my solution is just the opposite. Make sense? All right. Let's finish our Algebra 1 lesson so we can get into the Algebra 2. Okay, so here we have x squared minus x equals 30. So this is an example of it not being factored for us, right? So before we can factor, it has to be equal to 0. How do I make this equal to 0? Minus 30, not divide 30, minus 30. So we have x squared minus x minus 30 equals 0. This is simple factor because our leading coefficient is a 1. So we're asking ourselves what multiplies to give us -30, but adds to give us -1. What kind of 5 and 6? -6 and +5. -6 times 5 is -30. -6 plus 5 is -x, right? -1. So that means our factors are x minus 6 and x plus 5. Because these are our factors equal to 0, what are our solutions? It's going to be a +6 and a -5. One that is boxed, Jay. What would make x minus 6 equal to 0? What would make x plus 5 equal to 0? All right, questions about part 1. Okay, that's our algebra.